everybody. Welcome to this week Laid Back at your Zinga podcast. So today we will be talking about healthy and unhealthy competition. And today I'm going to be talking with Tarek. Hello, Tarek.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. So Tarek and I, we did our PhD together at UW Bristol. And whilst working together, we ended up having a lot of conversations about so many things. And I decided to talk to Tarek about this because I think at some point we had a little bit of, we had a conversation about something similar back in the day. So I think you can actually start from there. How have you been, Tarek?
Yeah. Everything has been great. How about you, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
How things going your way?
Everything is okay. I can't complain. How is it over there in the Far East?
Yeah, it's all perfect, and we are just battling this crazy pandemic that we hope that it goes away very soon because people are sick of it. We need to go back to our old ways of life. But do
you think we'll ever go back to old ways of life? Because if you think about it, most people actually they don't want to go in anymore and work. So some people are actually opting now to work remotely. So do you think we'll ever go back to normal anymore? And by
let me ask you this question.
What is even normal to start with?
Well, I mean, I know these situations that we are going through now are not normal, but let me ask you a question. Does working from home or from a distance and not interacting with other individuals who you are sharing the same interest in terms of achieving a specific goal out of your common work or whatever, is working from a distance considered a work? It's just you sitting somewhere doing something that doesn't have the old means and traditions of work. Work is when you go and interact with others and have conversations about given subject that relates to your mission at that specific work day.
Yeah.
This is in terms of work. I never liked working from a distance. It's not my thing. I need to see people and work with them and feed off their energy and just exchange knowledge and laughs and conversations at this actual workplace where everybody belongs. As for the second part of the question, which was about the whether this is what is normal to begin with, what was considered normal before, probably people didn't really pay much attention at. It was like something that you would just have for every day, and you have taken it for granted, like gathering with people, having a laugh, going out for a beer or a coffee, sitting at work, in the communal areas of work, like the kitchen or the, enjoy the meal or smell the microwave with a burning meal inside of it, hopefully not fish, and just common things, commuting every day, seeing other people, laughing out loud, not taking precautions, and having that idea if somebody sneezes at you that they might transmit a disease that could kill you, I wouldn't say instantly, but in a few days. And you just keep going and staying paranoid around others. This is not normal. So that's probably the answer to your points.
Yeah, and that actually reminds me. At some point, you actually told me that you ended up getting the COVID. How was that for you?
Yeah, I have got the COVID. I was COVID for like 14 days or something.
Yeah.
Well, see, at the beginning of the pandemic, we didn't really get much information about improving our immune system.
Yeah.
Started self-medicating or approach, measures like social distancing or applying hand sanitizers and not leaving the house, wearing masks. but they have neglected a specific important point, which is improving immunity and immune system. And it's not, a rocket science to improve your own immune system. It's just you go out in the sun for a couple of hours, then eat the right food, probably exercise, take a walk, have some vitamins. And we both know that vitamin D is not only a vitamin, it actually plays a circular role in improving it acts like a receptor for immune cells and white blood cells in general. That would help the defense mechanism that we have already in our system, and it has been always taking care of pathogens that attacks our bodies. We didn't really get as paranoid from getting the flu or getting whatever else that life has in its pockets for us.
Yeah, but I remember, or at least here in the UK, after the first lockdown, which was like total lockdown. After the first lockdown, they eased it down a little bit and actually allowed everybody to go out, not necessarily to go everywhere, but at least you were allowed to walk around the park, take the sun in, go exercise, go for a run, and the rest of them. Because just like you mentioned, without all those things, there's no way you are actually going to boost your own immunity, because if you stay indoors all day, live a sedentary life, your immunity is going to come crashing down anyway. So I remember back then they actually gave people the opportunity to actually go out and run if they wanted to. So so okay, like, do you think they would have done enough? They would have done more to actually like help, or like, do you think the lockdown and the rest of them like didn't help anything? They didn't change anything?
No. Of course, they held. Of course, the precautions and the preventative measures, the social distancing, the lockdowns, staying away from each other, all of it helped. And probably if we from the start started doing the improving immune systems techniques, that would have been a perfect approach. But again, nobody really knew what we were battling at the time. Here is the thing, probably if the health providers started comforting individuals when they get freaking them out, we both know that cortisol, that hormone that is related to the anxiety level of an individual, goes up and down. And the stress would impact the efficiency of the immune system. If somebody is stressed out, they actually their immune system actually is going suppressed, and they won't be able to battle the able to battle the virus as they should. Some people actually died because of that, because they were told they cannot see their family members, they cannot see their kids, they cannot see their wives or whatever, whoever they care about. So if I am being isolated somewhere, stressed out, my immune system is exposed to a foreign virus that hasn't been exposed to before. All of these factors are going to contribute to the ultimate demise of the patient. They might die.
You're actually right, because when it comes to the immune system, we all know like so many things play a role, depending on your mental, like, because let me put it this way. There's this definition of health that I was taught back in high school, and I never forget it. Like, I think my PhD teacher, she used to say, like, health is not just about you being physically okay, it's also about you being socially okay and mentally okay. And recently we've come to realize that mental health is actually a very, very crucial part of our lives, because you see somebody who is actually okay, but if the person's mental health is actually plummeting down, the person is going deep into depression or anxiety, definitely the stress level, the stress hormones like cortisol and the rest of them, because they're going to be high, and it's going to have a huge impact on the immune system, and that there's no way they are going to be able to actually fight the viruses anyway if they actually contract the virus. And I think you're totally right, to be fair.
Yeah, and it's now we are all seeing improvement in terms of handling the thanks to science and the vaccines that came out recently, we were able to resume a modest level of normality. We are, hoping to achieve our regular lives. Um, the level of immunization and taking the vaccines have been improving with time, and this is directly correlated with the magnitude that we are going to be able to restore our lives at. Um, it is the thing, though, about the overall health and the mental health and the stress. People, by nature, they are not programmed to stay indoors, and once they are locked inside, yeah, they will just behave erratically and irresponsibly, and their not only immune system would be fucked up, but also their mental health, what you have touched upon a few minutes ago.
Yeah, you're
so
totally right.
all,
Sorry to cut you short, but you're totally right, because we are all human beings. We are social beings anyway. And if you notice, if you make the mistake, even without lockdown, if you make the mistake of isolating yourself and staying indoors, over time, you notice it will actually have an effect on your a huge effect on your mental health as well. Even without a lockdown, if you actually voluntarily say, okay, do you know what? Let me isolate myself a little bit. But it can create in your head, you become paranoid. It can actually make you to have increase your anxiety levels, because at the end of the day, we are supposed to be out there taking in the sun. If you notice, you feel much better every day when you just walk around, even if you're not talking to any stranger or anybody, by just walking around under the sun, just looking at other people, you feel much better compared to when you're always indoors.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, people are creatures of habit. They like being surrounded with other people. They like going through their habits, their daily routine, going to the specific places they visit every day, see the familiar faces. All of those things are factors that contributes to the sanity of an individual. I mean, you can't just from somebody. They would, their mental health will just I think life is a little bit. Some of the countries started lifting their travel restrictions, and that's great. Some crazy states in the United States started announcing no measures or mask mandates altogether. That might be a little bit erratic, but what they saw works for them, so it might work for them. But not work for the rest of the world. And the rate of the mutation that the virus is taking is a little bit a source of disturbance and worrying to the health officials all over the world. It has been mutating ever since it made the jump from the xenology section to the human beings. But anyway, hopefully it's just going to disappear someday, or be just like another regular flu season.
Fair, but you have a point there. But at this point, I think we've actually deviated from what we're supposed to be talking about, which is healthy and unhealthy competition. So I'll just pause there, and then we can actually continue this later. But so let's get in healthy competition versus a healthy competition. First of all, let's actually dissect this deep down, and actually, what do you think what makes competition healthy and what actually makes competition unhealthy, in your own opinion?
Okay, see, human beings, men specifically, are primate. They originate from monkeys, and monkeys, they are ferocious animals. They like competing, and they like succeeding. They like variations in levels, and everybody gets in a specific level, and that level belongs to either the loser or the winner of a given situation.
Yeah.
What defines the healthy and unhealthy competition is basically the means of achieving the goal at the end.
Yeah.
Some people would play dirty to achieve their destinations, or to get to their destinations. They would start playing, sucking up the balls, or sabotaging
other people.
Other people's work, or they steal their ideas and present it as their own. They would also look for mistakes and things that should have been done differently, and just magnify the error and make it as big as possible. Then they take this problem to the boss and present whatever bullshit solution that they see. All of these means are not healthy competition by any means. What defines healthy competition is where people are sharing a common higher target, and they both start getting creative on their own methodologies to achieve that particular goal. So without interfering with each other's path, they wouldn't sabotage each other, or rat on each other. They won't suck up to the boss. They won't spy on the rest of the colleagues. So I think is the means what matters here. The means of achieving the goals is the line that if somebody cross it, or dance around it a little bit, the whole subject would change into either healthy or unhealthy competition.
Yeah, but that's actually a very good those are very good definitions, to be fair. Okay, let me tell you a very funny story. I don't know if I've ever told anybody this story apart from my family. When I was in primary school, I think I was in primary 1 at the time. So the first term, I remember the first term, and it was the end of the year, and I got my results, and I finished second. And there was this young girl who actually finished first. I was so competitive then, and I went and told the young girl to her face, this will never happen again. Like, I can never ever be like beneath you, or I can never ever be in second place, and this will never happen again. It never did, to be fair. And I ended up like I think throughout my stay in that primary school, I never finished less than first again. But it actually made me think, like, was that actually healthy? Like, now that I'm actually thinking about it, what I did, was it really healthy to actually go and talk to the girl like face to face and tell her this will never happen again? Yeah, it's a challenge, but now I'm thinking about it now. Do you really think that was actually healthy for me to actually walk up to someone and tell the person, no, do you know what, this is not going to happen again? You never ever be first again.
I wouldn't think anything of it, because you were a little kid who was programmed right from the start by the idea that if you, and that was going with you all along your path, up all the way until you have fallen in the second spot, and you went to the girl and started challenging her. So unwise of you, man, going to little girls, telling them stuff like that. I mean, that's nauseous.
No, but still, since we're talking about competition, because okay, that was what I did when I was younger, but over time I realized, like, I didn't see the need for me to put down anybody, because I felt like no matter what the next person did, like, life is abundant. Like, no matter what that person, everybody can actually be successful, and everybody can actually get to where they are going to. So I never saw the need to actually put other people down. And until, like, as you grow older, you start meeting people, and you realize a lot of people will actually try as much as possible to put you down, even if you don't want to, but they will try to put you down.
I think the famine mentality that most of people have is the main drive behind unhealthy competitions, or competition in general. People still think that there is not enough opportunities for everybody. So I need to grab as much as possible of them.
Yeah.
And no, relax. There is enough for everybody. Everybody can get can actually. Everybody can help everybody to achieve their goals. But some people will just start playing it dirty right from the start, and they present themselves as the chosen ones always and forever, and nobody can actually do their work but them.
Yeah. So do you think it stems down from, like, okay, for example, people who actually fight dirty and compete in a very unhealthy way? Do you think it stems down from like scarcity mentality and like a little bit of insecurity from them? Do you think it's something about that? Because since you said they feel like so let's just fight and grab as much as we can. So do you think it stems down from insecurity?
Damn straight, man. I mean, since the caveman, since there are people, living in the cave, and they have like ladies in there, they would go out and start, getting the meat for the day or the week or whatever duration of time they need it for. And they start, taking each other's animals and hunt in dirty ways. They ended up killing each other, dragging tigers or whatever food into their cave and murder their spouses, or to save as much as possible of the ration of the food. It's just somehow it has been programmed in the human genome and DNA right from the start. Some people evolved beyond having that part of their gene expressed, and unfortunately the vast majority of people still have that gene expressed, and they go about their lives by the famine mentality and the scarcity. So they find themselves in competition with everybody except probably themselves. I think they are also in competition with themselves, because at some point their own soul would tell them, hey, slow down, you can't actually have enough. And they will start, hey, get away from me, I need to achieve. And you know what?
So you said it's about genes, but right now thinking about it, I don't think it's about genes. I could actually say, I would say you can relate it to like epigenetics, like linked to your environment. Because when you think about it, for example, let's say someone was raised in an environment where everything is abundant. He knows that there are so many resources. I don't think you see that person compared to somebody who was raised in an environment where everything is scarce. Maybe the parents were poor, whereas the other person, the parents were rich. You wouldn't find the rich kid fighting as much as possible to put other people down to get anything. But you notice that the poor child will do that because he or she is so used to fighting for everything. It's normal.
Is it? I mean, history and the modern days are full of rich parents who had raised their spoiled brats to be as much of greed and grabbing as much as they could from the mouth of the poor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, then there's an endless list of that bullshit. I don't think they agree with you on that.
Yeah, but like it doesn't have. I was just trying to. It's just an analogy. I was just trying to explain, but it doesn't have to relate anything to riches or wealth. But the point I'm trying to make it, for example, let's say, let me use it for example. Let's say, since you were a kid, for example, you've always had good grades. Do you see what I mean? Let's just put it that way. You've always had good grades. You've never ever struggled to actually like be at the top of your class, and you don't have to stress too much. Whereas there are other people they've actually put in more effort or work than you, but for some reason you end up always like being at the top. For example, do you think because you are so used to winning, it will get to the point maybe you feel like do you know what, everybody can actually win. You wouldn't be so you wouldn't feel like if I don't win now I'm gonna die. But the other person who's not used to winning will actually say, you know what, I need to put Tarek down for me to actually win at least once. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I sort of see your point, but don't need to approach everything and every goal in life with the mentality of winning or losing, and there is no third option. Some issues, you need to approach them with the mentality of, okay, what I am getting out of this, what I am learning from all of this experience. I mean, once you master whatever the target is, you can win it or lose it later on. But the main goal here is learning, and learning in life never stops. And if you learn the right tools and means that would make you succeed and achieve your goal with healthy competition, so be it. If you don't learn and you just abuse your abilities and utilize others' thoughts, ideas, steal whatever ideas they come up with, or whatever effort that they had put on and present it as your own. I don't know. I know that you will informed about the discovery of the DNA, the double helix structure. Yeah. People still think until today that Watson and Crick stole Franklin's, structure. I would probably agree with a little bit of that statement, except they didn't. The competition there back then on the discovery of that was ferocious, and the competition was all around the globe. There was some sort of a race that made both of them, Watson and Crick, as eager as they were to achieve the
scientific discovery, I guess.
Yeah, but there's that first image of the because they have combined chemistry and radiologist techniques to discover the actual backbone and the base pairing of the double helix. And whenever they come up with a suggestion or a theory, it fails at a certain point. It's either the phosphate backbone wouldn't hold out a certain hydrogen bound, or the actual hydrogen bound between the base pairs has to be in a certain way. Otherwise, anyway, they started just grabbing ideas from here and there. They took some of the ideas from the there was this scientist who wasn't able to travel out of the States because of some national security matters, so he used to communicate with his son, who was in England back in the time, and he used to write his son's a letter about his progress in terms of discovering the structure of the DNA. So I think I think Watson was closer to the son, since the son was studying at that school, and he used to go and just talk to the son and see what his father wrote to him, and just examine the ideas and thoughts and try to put it all into a perspective and fits his own structure for the DNA. And then
so that means he was actually stealing his idea, kind of.
Yes, but see, I would say he was more of an opportunist rather than a thief. And he also
he's still the same thing. We're just using two different words to actually describe it, but it's still the same thing because. Well,
I'm not certain about when he stole that information from that man. I'm not sure that if he actually got the information that helped constructing the DNA structure as we know it now. It probably took it from. I would say they took more of Franklin's discoveries. I mean, they were even minimalist. They used to call her Frankie or something because she's a lady. So they would actually. I think she was working with the radiations and the radiologists, and she took a couple of pictures. I think there is a specimen 50 or image 50 or something, which is a known specimen in the discovery of the DNA. I think they have shared that and combined it with their discoveries. I think Franklin died and she didn't get to win the Nobel Prize, but we both know that Watson and Crick were the heroes of the DNA structure up until now, and they were up all the way until recently, until the DNA or the Human Genome Project that is, was started. That has started in the 90s and was finalized by 2000 or something. I think Watson was his head, or was the person on charge of that project. And funny enough, he was trying to understand the genetic makeup of the human beings so he can help his own son who had developed some sort of genetic abnormalities.
Yeah.
So there is, an example about from science about healthy and unhealthy competition. I don't know under which category that fits.
Yeah.
Hey, there is.
Yeah, to be fair, but like, this is something I used to say back then. When I remember my first day of the PhD, I used to tell my supervisor back then, like, I feel like the scientific world, I felt like it was too. I felt like the competition wasn't healthy, and I will explain. I felt like, for example, if you go to conferences, I felt he had more people who wanted to put other people down. I didn't understand why. Like, you see somebody who will stand up at these scientific conferences, and the person represents his paper, his findings. You realize that the other person is just trying as much as possible to put him down and show the world that he knows more than the other. I didn't understand why, because I felt, and it happened countless times, and it made me. I started asking myself, I know, yeah, you have a lot of smart people in science who are definitely they are going to be competitive, but at this point, I felt like it wasn't healthy, because if the person is just standing up to just prove you wrong and just show the world that he knows more than you, that's not healthy, because you're just trying as much as possible to show the world that not necessarily you're not trying to critically analyze what the person has shown you. You're just trying to put the person down and just show that you know. That's it.
You are absolutely on point in there, but hey, sometimes in conferences, of course, people would share a specific goal, like they are racing in towards achieving a specific target, and they know that the other group are working on it as well.
Yeah.
Somehow, in given conferences or whatever, the raw data or the ideas or the hypotheses get circulated around prior to actual publications.
Yeah.
And for the other person to succeed, they need to put holes in the theory of the other parties.
Or the next person,
yeah. Achieve the same goal. So let's say somebody is trying to discover an alternative rocket fuel.
Yeah.
And the other person is working towards the same thing as well. So the other individual, it would be in the other individual's best interest to find as much holes in the theory of those groups that they are in competition with.
Yeah.
To just say, hey, your fuel at the end of the day might be just piss, and it wouldn't even let anything move out of the ground. But ours, if we do this and that different from what you have already done, it might actually take the rocket up to the sky.
Yeah.
So it is. I don't know if that's unhealthy competition, but it's like exploiting the knowledge, the prior knowledge of something to sabotage. Okay, it's unhealthy competition. I agree.
you just use the word sabotage, and you're actually, but like, just think about it. Like, I'm not saying you guys shouldn't be in competition, because everybody's trying as much as possible. In science, everybody's fighting for grants. I get that, but if you are trying as much as possible, okay, let me paint the picture for you, Tarek. Let's say we go to a scientific conference, and I take you to Belfast. Let me use Belfast, and we go to Belfast, and you are presenting a paper, and someone in the crowd, in the audience, raises his hand to actually ask you a question, instead of the person to ask you a question about what you just showed to the audience, the person will end up trying as much as possible not to actually ask you any question so that you can actually answer. But no, the person will ask you a question. He knows you don't know what the answer is, so that you can actually tell the whole audience, oh, I know the answer. This is what it is. This is what it's not is. Let be honest. How would you feel?
Okay, how do I feel about that?
Yeah. How do you think how did that would make you feel? If someone was trying to put you down in front of everybody, knowing deep down that you've actually presented something, but the person is not really asking you questions about what you just shown, but he's just trying as much as possible to put you down and just show the world that he knows more than you.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the perfect answer. See, you can't really lash out in front of the whole conference, to be honest. And you can't really, kick their ass afterward. Yeah. But the thing here is either be all wise about the action and have a smart answer towards whatever they were asking, or just go after it. And the wise choice here is just not to be a foolish for the tricks that the other or not to fall for the trap that the other people had put in front of you. I'm not certain. I haven't been in such positions. I haven't cross-examined on some of the work that I have presented before, but it is I can see the point here.
Yeah. No, because when you think about it, I've seen it happen to a number of people, and it has. I don't think it has happened to me. I'm not sure, but I've seen it happen to some people, and I didn't feel good for them. Like, it's not nice, because if the person is actually trying as much as possible to show the world, this is what I've done. This is what, you ought to ask the person questions about the work he or she has done, and ask the person, okay, do you know what? You said you did A or B. Yeah, I like that, but don't you think if you had changed what you did here and there, you would have gotten something? The person will try as much as possible to say A and B you've done, they are rubbish, and this is what you could have. This is what I mean. And it makes me think if this is actually healthy. It's not really healthy. You see what I mean? That's unhealthy competition.
Yeah, you have a point there, but again, I mean, in scientific community, people are in constant competition. So that's what I'm saying now.
Do you think the kind of competition we have in science, the one we actually see that's more prominent, do you think is actually healthy or unhealthy?
The ones we see, I think there is mostly healthy.
Really?
Competition. Yeah, I don't know which type of groups you have worked with, but all of the groups that I have interacted with, they try to carry each other out and combine their findings to build up a solid theory rather than tearing each other to destroy the theories.
No, I'm not talking about groups I'm working. I'm talking what I saw at conferences, okay? Because those people do not know each other from anywhere. Maybe if they had known each other from somewhere, maybe they will collaborate. I don't know. You see people, maybe they don't really know each other, because when people know each other, they tend to be milder when they ask it. I get that, but you feel like the competition unhealthy, which is really nice, but then other people are trying as much as possible to go down. I don't think it's healthy, but I think it's healthy when everybody's trying as much as possible to, yes, even though you guys are working in a group, you guys are working together for a common goal, and everybody also has their own individual goals, like to actually achieve our such as, it's okay, help each other, and you can also achieve your goals collectively as well. But then, leaving science away from science now, let's take it now to something else, like not just science, like in life generally, because everything is competition anyway, because whether we like it or not, just like you said, the caveman, how they go out there to hunt for food and then bring to the women and the rest of them. Do you think, like, if you see somebody like maybe like, for example, anything in life, I'm trying to come up with the best, create the best scenario in my head now, but I can't come up with anything. Like, do you think, like, if there's anything like happening out there, let's say even if it's just cutting the line maybe at the supermarket, do you think, because if you notice it, people actually still fight for such things, like they feel like, no, you shouldn't stand before, like, why would you cut into the line? This is all those things. Like, do you think most of the time things you see out there, do you think majority of things you see are healthy competition or unhealthy competition?
Unfortunately, people has changed, and people are greedier now, and we see more of the unhealthy competition. I remember this meeting that we were doing like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were all working towards a specific goal, and it would have been helpful if we just stuck together and started building on the findings, rather than starting to take the findings and running towards the boss and say, hey, what do you think of this? We have found it. To show the boss that you found this thing. This actually happened in one of the meetings.
Yeah.
I mean, there was obvious issue that needed clarity and a certain direction. And one of the committee member just grabbed the papers by hearing, as soon as he heard the what he considered new information to him, he just took the paper and ran off with it to the big boss to tell me, what do you think of this? I mean, we found it. It agrees with this rule and it disagrees with that, and we should probably do this way. We were just discussing it right there in that room, and somebody else other than you might have said that example, and you decided, like a cheap person, to just grab the thing and run towards the boss as if it was yours. I don't know what to call that. This is not even a competition. This is like straight up sucking, the boss's ass.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, a friend of mine told me a story, like, which is similar to what you just said. A story back in the day. She told me, like, she was working in this firm that she would write things like communique or whatever for the company. At the end of the day, the person she was submitted to would not submit it to the boss, because the document is supposed to go through the person before it gets to the boss. The person will not submit it to the boss, or before he submits it to the boss, the person will remove my friend's name and put his own name as the author.
See, well, I mean, why all of this? Why people just are going after shit like there is not enough for everybody, and they are walking through a lot with the famine mentality, which is just unfit for our modern society.
But that's the question. That's the question here, because I've been thinking about it, and I've come to realize most of the time, like, people who feel like they don't have original ideas, because if you think about it, the person you just mentioned in your at your workplace, you notice that most of the time they don't come up with original ideas. They always try as much as possible to take the ideas other people have actually generated or come up with. People who do not think they are that creative or come up with original ideas tend to do that a lot. But I'm not saying people with original ideas cannot compete in an unhealthy way. Or no, but most of the time I've noticed is a pattern in people who feel like they are not creative enough and they don't come up with original ideas. So most of the time they try as much as possible to take the other person's idea. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, you're absolutely on point, man. Yeah, that's right.
But deep down, that's the funny thing, because I feel like everybody's smart and creative. You just have to tap into it to actually understand that you are. I don't think there's anybody out there who's not creative, honestly. That's how I see it. But
yeah, you're true. And probably some people just need to learn that failure is okay. And
definitely.
I think there is this famous saying that I'm not worried if succeed all the time, but I am worried if you don't fail from time to time. So you need to experience failure and have it as the greatest motivator that would give you a boost that would keep you on the move until you achieve your target. With a healthy competitive means, rather than approaching the subject with the dirty work for that some people would just they are just the best at it. If they spend as much effort of learning how to do the thing rather than sabotaging it, I think they would do great things. But unfortunately, that's not the case. We don't see that.
No, but I get what you mean. But it all boils down to inner work, because if somebody actually feels this way about himself or herself and feel like, you know what, I'm not as creative as Tarek, I'm not as smart as the next person, it will be hard for the person to actually shake that idea or shake that feeling off, because they need to shake it off to actually understand that yes, Tarek is smart and I'm creative, but I'm also smart and creative. I can actually come up with my own original plans or ideas. But
the plan or the target would have been even greater if the combined their means of achieving the thing rather than working against each other.
Yeah, exactly. Because most people I think people need to understand this thing. Like when I talk to people, and I've seen this is the hardest thing for people to do. You can actually, if you can actually prove me wrong and try this and do this experiment. Have you noticed, like, for example, most of the time, I'm not saying it happens to everybody, but when you walk up to somebody and say, "Oh my God, I like Tarek. He's one of the smartest people I've met. I like the way he thinks." The person will try to look for negative things to tell you about Tarek. I don't know why. And it is something that makes me worried, and it makes not worried per se, but it makes me wonder if competition, like in our mind, that we are competing for something. Maybe in the person's head or whatever, the friend or maybe Tarek is actually getting all the plaudits, then I'm not getting any. So let me say something rubbish about Tarek, so the person was perfect. But I've come to realize people do that. Once you start telling them something about the person, they will try as much as possible to find something negative they are going to tell you about the person. Like maybe in a funny way or in a stylish way, but they will say something odd.
Unfortunately, these tactics work. People listen to them.
Of course they work. That's the thing I'm trying to make. Of course they work. I'm actually like a very curious person, and I try as much as possible to look deeply into this. I wouldn't notice it because I'm Tarek. Let's say you meet somebody and you are trying to tell the person, okay, let's say you see me all the time with Mr. A, and you are trying to tell me, oh, Mr. A is a very smart man, and next time I tell you, no, he's not a smart man, he's a con artist. Because you see me with Mr. A all the time, you are going to believe my judgment or my opinion, isn't it? It's the truth.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, even though initially you thought Mr. A was actually a smart man, but because you see me, because if the person you see with Mr. A all the time has already told you that Mr. A is actually a con artist, you will be like, okay, do you know what? Maybe I misjudged Mr. A, and since I need to spend more time with Mr. A, it's possible that Mr. A is actually a con artist. Because that's what you're going to go by, and that's negative, and it's going to, but you wouldn't even, your mind wouldn't go as far as thinking maybe Arinze is telling you this because he's just jealous and in competition with Mr. A. Your mind wouldn't go there, don't you think?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. You have a point, and again, I mean, if some of those issues originate from competing against each other based on the personal issues. Let's say this Mr. A, from your example, is more friendly with somebody than the other. and they would just facilitate things to the person that they like, to push down the other party who just didn't have a fair play right from the start for them to succeed. This type of thing is just, fits under the unhealthy category of the competition. But there is
it's still at the end of the day, it's still competition, and I think human beings, without actually knowing, inherently we actually are very competitive. Sometimes we don't know that we compete in a very bad or healthy way, okay, let me even say the funny one that's gonna make you maybe that's gonna buzz your bubble now. But think about it. Have you noticed, like, for example, or maybe it's something you have to experiment. Maybe you prove me wrong. But have you noticed that most women who are actually beautiful have a lot of, let me use the word, haters. If you tend to say good things about those women who are beautiful, you always find people that will tell you something rubbish about them, no matter what. And it could even be their friends. Have you noticed it?
Yes, it's all over the place, and it's pure jealousy.
But we are saying the same thing. It's still competition, because they feel like the person is getting all the attention and admiration, all the praises. So why should she get all of them?
I'm not sure if jealousy and competition is the same here. Jealousy is envious feeling that you would experience.
Okay.
While the competition is just the human nature.
Okay.
It's based on competing on.
Yeah, but think about it. This way.
Jealous.
But think about it. It's still competition, and I will explain. Because human. Okay, let's say maybe they are friends. They are competing for attention, and if the beautiful girl in the group is the only one getting the attention of others, and the others are not getting attention because it's still competition, the person will be like, okay, do you know what? This is my biggest competition. Actually make people feel like she's actually horrible, so that people stop giving her attention and give me the attention. It's still competition. It's jealous,
you have a point,
but it's still competition.
You have a point there, and people have been doing this ever since creation. I don't think me and you are going to be able to summarize the whole thing into simplistic views or perspective. But people lose each other this way. Friendship get turned down because of this stupid stuff. People are losing their friends on the daily basis because of stupid competitions, either on on a position or an article or whatever else is out there in academia, especially. It saddens my heart when I see people doing that, and they tear each other down by the things that are just shouldn't be there from the start.
But that's the thing, because I keep saying it. I think at the end of the day, when you actually divide it into two, maybe I think when it comes to healthy competition, people who have abundance mentality, who feel like, oh, do you know what? Everything is abundant. Everybody can get ahead. I need all my friends to actually go forward in life. I can actually support them. If I see opportunities, I will tell them about this opportunity so that everybody can actually get ahead in life. They tend to compete in a very, very healthy way. But people who have scarcity mentality, who feel like, if I don't grab this now, I'm gonna lose out, and I'm not gonna ever get it again. So they tend to hoard information. They tend to hoard opportunity that they feel like the next person can get and be better than them. They only tell you about those opportunities when they think they've already gotten it, and then, okay, do you know what, now Tarek, now you can have it. I've already had it before. You see what I mean? So I think it just stems down to it still stems from our mindset, the mindset we have. Everybody keeps talking about positive, negative, but at the end of the day, it's not just about being positive. You also need to work on having this abundance mindset to understand that everything is abundant. If you don't get this, you can actually get the next one.
You are absolutely right. And, it's just human nature. People just need to evolve beyond this point. People should learn to make each other succeed and work for the best of interest of humanity rather than starting going after the stupid ideas to claim the things that you didn't do in the first place as your own work. All of them are just not right, man.
Yeah. Well, just like you said, I don't think we'll ever we can actually spend all day talking about this. It will never end because it's just human nature. But it's good that we've actually had this we've spent this time to actually dissect the two, like to understand, because competition is good. Like I don't think I keep saying, like, I watch a lot of football, yeah, and when I watch football, there's something I always say. If I see a team, if I'm looking at the team, like I look at the sport, the first thing that actually comes to my mind is if I see a player and I feel like the player is becoming too relaxed and complacent, my first tell the coach, you know what, buy another player that plays the same position to compete with that boy. Because if the person sees there's another competition, he will buckle up. See, competition is good. Competition is something I always encourage because it makes better. But we have to find a way to actually compete in a very healthy way and not put other people down and say stupid shit about them, take their work and turn it make it ours, do all sorts of things because we are trying as much as possible to get ahead. Maybe it works and they eventually become successful. I don't know, but I think there has to be, we have to get actually draw the line and say this is what is healthy and this is what is unhealthy.
Yes, but this line is not so clear. It's in the sand and it shifts place every now and again.
Yeah.
So people just need to cope with it and just be nice to each other and start building each other.
Well, but do you think everybody can actually be nice? I don't think that's possible, to be fair.
Yeah, but see, I mean, why wouldn't you be? Why go around and be angry at life and make others miserable because you are angry at life, especially if you are managing a number of people? You just keep lashing out at them and minimizing their work and shit on their achievements and make those sort of competition environment loud to compete. And they expect them to be friendly with each other. It doesn't work like that. People are friendly.
Yeah, true. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, it's been lovely talking to you about this. I really enjoyed my time. I hope you actually enjoyed your time as well.
Yeah, it was a good chat, and it was nice talking to you, man. And I hope we have tried to put everything into perspective in terms of what means what and the actual competitions and the mean of competing with others and managing to keep stuff as healthy as possible. That's how people end up losing each other as friends or as co-workers, just because of stupid healthy and unhealthy competitions. You know, humanity, about time for humanity to go past this point, basically.
I agree. But but just like you said, that's how people end up losing friends and all. But also, we also have to remember that a lot of people like to be around people they feel like they are better than. They don't like being around people who actually make them feel like they are not up to par. But I've come to understand that you actually need to be around people who actually make you feel like you are not up to par, because that's what actually drives you to grow. Because if you're always around people you feel like you are better than, you are never gonna grow. Because if you are just a king in the land of blind men, how are you gonna grow?
Exactly.
So
well,
on that note, we're gonna end today's episode. It's been lovely talking to you, Tarek.
It's been lovely talking to you as well, man. Take care.
All right, take care, man.
Have a good one.
Laid Back the Atirozinka podcast will be a weekly podcast where I relax from the hustle and bustle of life to talk about a range of topics, including culture and lifestyle, sports, entertainment, history, science, technology, finance, politics, and religion. I will also interview amazing people from different walks of life. My hope is to build a community where more laid-back professionals can sit and chat about anything. Find me on social media at Laidback on Twitter and Instagram, and make sure to subscribe, rate, and comment on any podcast app. Thank you.